How are you doing? I hope you're well. I'm well, thank you. Got a haircut. Not exactly the color I wanted for my hair, not the same hairdresser as usual. A bit too much on the grey, but okay, I live with it. That's the good point about having very short hair. You can do whatever you want in a month and a half. It will be gone. That's okay. So how are you doing? If you're new to the podcast, just let me explain very quickly. There's a podcast every Monday at 5 p.m. Paris time. I live in France and my name is Christelle. And this is a podcast about knitting and yarn dyeing. I'm an indie dyer. There's a newsletter sent out every Monday at 5 p.m. as well, just to explain and, show you what's new in the shop, because the shop is updated every Monday afternoon. And there you go, you have everything. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for joining me again today. As always, it's a pleasure. It's really a highlight of my week just to be sitting with you and recap everything that's been going on in the shop. And thank you so much for joining me. So today is episode 24 of season 4. We are one episode away from the season finale. So next Monday, will be the last episode of the season. Nothing much different, actually, just saying, that's all. Okay, guys, so today I wanted to announce the winners for the Ep24 Fanfare, because you thought I forgot, but I didn't. It's just that I forgot. Each time I thought about it after I finished filming the podcast. So this way, this time around, I took some very detailed notes. And I am able to let you know that for Fanfare DFO of May, the winner is Wen on Instagram. She knitted a Find Your Fade, beautiful Find Your Fade in blue, in shades of blue, in tricot stitch and écheveau solidaire. And her finished shawl is beautiful. And for June, because I was late for 2 Fanfare DFO, the winner is Papillon 003. It's a Ravelry entry, and she knitted a Zweig by Kathleen Hunter in the Broceliande colorway. So congratulations to both of you girls. You can drop me a message and I will send you the respective colorways that you won. So Wen wins the Almanac colorway for May, and Papillon 003 wins the Almanac colorway for June. And I will announce the winner for the July Fanfare DFO next episode. Okay, and if you don't know what the Fanfare DFO is, it's a monthly challenge. You just have to post a picture of your tricot stitch project on Instagram using this hashtag, or on Ravelry, or you can play on both to be able to enter twice. And it just has to have a tricot stitch component to it. So it can be the yarn, can be the pattern, and yeah, that's it. And you just share your picture and you are automatically entered for the drawing that takes place the month after when I think about it. Otherwise, I can have a bit of delay, because sometimes it's really, I feel like my routine is disrupted with all the festivals, the fiber fairs, and it's sometimes very hard and long to get back into the rhythm and think about every little detail. But there you go. We have our winners. Also, I wanted to thank you so much about the distache. If you bought yarn from me and if you sent me messages, thank you so much. I've been answering the messages very quickly for the first half of that last week, but second half of last week I've been a bit overwhelmed. Know that I've put in the distache only a third of the yarn I decided to distache. So there will be at least 2 other instances of distache on my Ravelry page, but I will let you know when. I just want to complete this round before putting anything else, because I didn't anticipate that it would be so time consuming. It's really time consuming, mainly because I'm doing this on Ravelry. It would be much quicker to do that on Vinted, but I thought I would save time because everything was already entered on Ravelry. But yeah, it would be time consuming also to enter everything on Vinted. Yeah, anyway, it's going to take time. That's my bottom line. I cannot find a way that will not take time. Anyway. Okay, so another thing. I completely mixed up the dates in my last podcast. I told you the shop update would happen on Monday the 2nd. It's actually Monday the 1st. You know that, guys? So I got my dates confused. And you know this surprise shop update? Okay. This has to happen at 10 a.m. Central Eastern Time, which is 6 p.m. Paris time. I cannot tell you anything about it before that time. So I cannot show you what this is about until tomorrow, 6 p.m. Paris time. The yarn is here. I'm actually petting it right now. It's beautiful, it's very soft, but I cannot show it to you until tomorrow. So today is July the 31st, for me, it's Sunday. I will be able to tell you that on Tuesday, so obviously not in the podcast today, but I will send, exceptionally, I will send a second newsletter on Tuesday at 6 p.m. To let you know what this surprise shop update is all about. And today there is still a shop update, and it's about this Sock Knitter's Almanac colorway for the month of August. So I'm going to talk to you about that, and just after that we're going to talk projects. So Sock Knitter's Almanac. I spent a little more time in the French version of the podcast because I just wanted to give you just a bit of insight and a bit of, you know, background info about how the almanac came to fruition. Obviously, I've been very inspired by Elizabeth Zimmerman and the Knitter's Almanac, which has always resonated very deeply in me. And this almanac thing is really something that appeals to me a lot for everything, for gardening, for reading, for, you know, I like to be anchored in the season. And this idea of having a knitter's almanac but dedicated to sock knitting, which is to me the epitome of, you know, seasonal knitting, because you can knit some very short and lacy anklets in the summer. You can knit very warm and cozy socks in the autumn and winter, and it's something that is really going across all seasons, that you're able to enjoy across all seasons. You can play endlessly with yarn, with colors, with textures, with lace, with a lot of things. And to me, it really goes so well hand together. And this idea of a sock knitter's almanac has been around in my head for years, literally. And I've been working on it for years. So it's not actually taking in the shop, and the way I've been working with it over the past year and a half, a bit more actually, it's not the initial idea I had for it. It was another idea, but the background work I did for this first idea works so well, because actually when I first thought about this idea, I was not much into dyeing yarn. I was much more into designing patterns. And because that idea was really, really dear to my heart, and I put already so much work in that, and I really wanted to see it happen, and I didn't want to wait anymore, I decided to do it in another way and use my indie dyeing business and use my dyeing skills to approach you know, this idea of an almanac, not from the design point of view, but from the dyeing point of view. I have not closed the door at all on the design. It's just that today my main activity is yarn dyeing. So that's why I can give you maybe sometime the idea that I came up with a lot of different ideas every month very easily, but that's because I've been doing a lot of legwork for the past like 5 years. I have a ton of mood boards on Pinterest that are all secrets, but that is a huge inspiration source for me to pick and choose each time I'm searching for a new idea for a month, and I'm constantly inspired by new things and exploring new themes. So for example, for this month, I think the mood board was created like 5 or 6 years ago. I mean, it's been around for a long time, and it originated because in 2015 we were lucky enough to spend our Christmas vacation in my husband's family in Guadeloupe. That's the French Caribbean. And we had the most wonderful time, and we were able to take strolls on the beach at sunset, and that experience is just magical. And it's not just because it was the Caribbean. I mean, I'm from Normandy, which is the west coast of France, so I'm not a coast girl, I'm more in the land, but there has been so many days in my childhood spent on the beach with my parents in Normandy. And I mean, even if it's not the same setting, not the same temperatures, not the same colors, this feeling of being on the beach at sunset is something magical, really magical. So that was one of the board that I put together some years ago and that I decided to leverage for this month's almanac. And so the colorway, the board is here, and I decided to approach it on a very colorful way. Tones are a bit subdued, but not too much, and you still see clearly the colors of the sky at this very little time frame where you have the sky is literally is on fire with colors, beautiful colors in pinks, in oranges, in purple, in blue-gray, and then you have the blue of the sea, and you have a variety of different colors. And you know that how that works in dyeing for me. It's like I'm painting something. So this is the colorway. So it's called Beach Sunset. I wanted to give it a French name, but Beach Sunset in French would be Coucher de soleil sur la plage, which is way too long to put on a label, to write on a label. So it's Beach Sunset, okay? And here it is. And it's absolutely gorgeous. It's one of these rare instances when, you know, the actual result is exceeding my expectations and what I had in mind. So I'm super happy with this colorway. I'm going to show it to you in more details. So I really played a lot with colors. I decided to mix the colors directly on the yarn, just like I would paint this idea, this image of a sunset on the beach. And you can find all the shades you can find in the sky, the purples, the grays, the very subdued blues and pinks. You have the very warm glow of the sunset, and then you have the water, the blue water. I wanted to keep it blue, although I'm aware it's not really blue when the sun is setting, but anyway. And then you have a lot of speckles. And so depending on the dye bath, some are more vivid than others. This one is kind of a bit on the light side, but yeah, it's a beautiful family. It's a really beautiful family. And so this is on extra fine fingering. For example, this is one that is a bit more vivid. You can see the blues are a bit more there, but yeah, clearly the same colorway. This is on lurex, which stand out beautifully as well. This is on Stellina, which is really on the lighter side, but the ones I dyed afterwards are more vivid. This is on MCN. And this is on BFL and silk. Oh, yeah, BFL and silk, that's correct. So silk is always lightening the colors as well. And this is on BFL. So BFL, to start with, is a pale yellow, so that has an influence on how it takes the dye, actually. But yeah, here you go. It's gorgeous. I'm so happy with this colorway. I just want to knit it in a bigger piece, not only socks. I can totally imagine myself dyeing some more hair and silk with that and knit a sweater out of this. So here's the colorway for this month. I hope you like it. Everything is already dyed, so it's going to ship before I leave for my vacation, which is I'm going to leave on August 13, and then I'm going to, I think, close the shop, and it will reopen on September the 5th for the Sock Knitters Almanac colorway of September. And just a quick word on the agenda. I didn't mention this before, but now it's time to do so, because I mean it's approaching very quickly. I will have 2 events back to back in September. The first one is a brand new thing for me in Lille, which is a big city in the north of France. There will be a huge event around knitting, which is called Tricoter Happy, in 2 words. It's a play on word, and it's actually tricotherapie, which is knitting therapy. You can translate it to that. And I will be having a corner shop, like like a pop-up shop for a week between September the 8th and September the 14th. So my yarn will be there. I won't be there all the time. I will be physically there on the I just don't want to get my days mixed up again. On Friday the 9th and Saturday the 10th of September. So if you are around, or if you want to do a bit of travel and see me and see my yarns will be there from September the 8th, so that's a Thursday, until the next Wednesday, that's Wednesday the 14th. And then little me will be on the Friday and Saturday on the spot with my yarns. And then just afterwards, I will be on a fiber festival in the east of France, like middle east of France, if that makes sense, near Dijon. And it's called Laine à l'Est. And it's a fiber festival, and I'm very happy to take part in that. And that's actually it for this month, which is already, good. Next festival will be in Barcelona, guys. I will be in Barcelona on November the 5th and 6th, and I'm so excited about this. So that's it for the agenda. Close the parenthèse. And then I wanted to share with you my projects. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot about the Almanac, and I completely forgot about it in the French version as well. There is a pattern to go alongside this colorway of Beach Sunset for August, and it's the Pale Cottage Socks by Mara Catherine Briner. This is a beautiful pattern of little anklet socks, perfect for variegated yarn, and I actually love the patterns by Mara Catherine Briner. So this is the pattern for this month, the pattern suggestion for this month if you want to join. Just a good pairing and just a nice, very lovely pair of socks. And actually the cuff is pretty funky. Yeah, and the projects. So project-wise, this week, I actually made progress on the socks more than on anything else. I turned the heel on my February 2nd sock of the February Druides colorway, and that's a pattern improvisation. So I'm happy because, you know, I'm going to have a pair soon, which is good. And once I'm done with that and done with this one, which is the second side of the November pattern colorway of the Sock Knitter's Almanac, I will actually have 15 finished pairs, and the pairs will be all done from the very start of the Sock Knitter's Almanac in January 2021, knowing that I actually never wore them. I'm not ready yet, guys. I'm just so happy about how this turned out that I don't want to spoil them by wearing them, but I'm actually, they're socks, okay? So I just have to do that. I have to force myself. And I actually muddled up my own pattern. I was supposed to add some rows of stockinette here, and I forgot, and it's just all the same each time. They will be perfectly imperfect. I'm not frogging. Not in a million years. And then the Drunken Geese socks are actually growing pretty well, and I am about to start the heel, which is actually the most beautiful part of this pattern. So cool. And then, because I know you want to know, on the design, things are going smoothly, a bit slowly to my taste, but smoothly nevertheless. This is what's left of the first skein, and it is so incredibly satisfying to knit this pattern, and you know, to form each little flower so easily. It's really so satisfying. I decided to call this design Satisfaction. Okay, so I had Réconfort, which was the name of my previous shawl pattern. Well, there was La Bohème in between because, you know, it was the Advent pattern, the Advent calendar I made for the pattern I made for the Advent calendar. I'm going to manage this. So, but I really like to have some patterns named after the feeling they give you, like Réconfort, which is comfort, like Satisfaction, which is actually the same word in French and in English, so that's perfect. And yeah, I really like those flowers. Oh, I'm so happy with those. So yeah, growing still there. You know, design is not something really instant. It's not instant gratification by any means, but I know that I will. It's incredibly satisfying to knit, and it will be incredibly satisfying to block once it's done. I mean, that's the absolute best part when you design something and then it's finished and you block it and it blooms and it grows and it takes all this, you know, because lace is very different from the finished product. It's like looking like a lumpy thing, like it's not looking like it will be looking once it's blocked. So blocking your finished design, especially when there's lace, it's incredibly satisfying. So I kind of hope I'm able to finish this before I leave for vacation in 2 weeks time, because I would like to be able to concentrate on the design for this year Advent calendar during my vacation. So really the idea is to finish this before I leave. I hope I will be able to do so, but we'll see. Okay, guys? And that's actually it for this week. So don't forget, there will be another newsletter this week, Tuesday, 6 p.m. Paris time, with all the info and all the photos about the surprise shop update. Okay? So take care. See you next Monday for the season finale, and again, take care. Bisous, bisous. Bye.